Titan, Season 3, Episode 10. Alright, so this episode of Attack on Titan, it's basically what's happened in this episode is we're getting to the backstory of Kenny the Ripper and how he met the Old King, how he had this idea that maybe if he could become the Old King's power, maybe that he could become a better person. And it also dealing with him meeting the Captain Levi, how he was growing up, how they had a cursed family name. This is a very interesting episode. It's an episode, it's kind of I won't say it's a filler, but it's an episode where we could get some clarification of the Old King and some episode into what made Kenny the Ripper. So I very much enjoyed this episode. It's a very good episode to watch. Doctor Who, Series 11, Episode 4. So this episode, the Doctor takes his companions home, and she's like, oh, bye. And they're like, you want to come on tea? She's like, yeah, I love tea. And then she's up in the flat. She's like, how'd you get a flat? I've never had a flat before. I get a sofa, a purple sofa. And that very much felt like a Matt Smith or David Tennant moment. So, I mean, I'm really liking Jodie Whittaker as a Doctor. In this episode, we're dealing with basically giant-ass spiders. You have spiders you have people experiment on spiders, and then they get chemical waste. That never goes well. And they have giant spiders webbing up people and eating people. It's a very good interesting episode. There's this Donald Trump type character in this episode where he's like, oh, I'm a businessman. I'm all about making money. And basically at the end of the episode, you have the Doctor's companions. They all decide let's all travel along with the Doctor. The older guy, he's saying that the adventure is helping with the grief of losing his wife. And everyone else just wants to join in because it's a completely new experience. The Doctor says, I can't promise that you're going to be safe. And you're not going to come back as the same people. And I really much enjoyed this episode of Doctor Who. Arrow, Season 7, Episode 3. So this episode of Arrow, we're seeing Felicity team up with the FBI agent, whatever her name was. And basically they're trying to capture Diaz. Doesn't work out their way, but they're able to catch the girl who can basically silence sound waves with her technology something. So that's interesting to see. Then we see Diggle. They go off to Switzerland to do some secret Argus thing, and his wife are having a little problems. Basically, she has an off-book mission she doesn't want to tell Dig about, and it's just, family drama going on there. But what's really going on in the episode, we see Oliver, he's still in prison, and he's trying to figure out who this connection to Diaz is. But to do that, he has to get even more incarcerated. He has to get to the next level of prison. So it's a very interesting episode. I like this episode. It was very entertaining, and I'm curious to see where to go next. Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 2. Alright, so this episode of Legends of Tomorrow, they go back to the Salem Witch Trials, where basically what's going on is this one girl whose mom gets burned as a witch in the future. But at this moment, her daughter is basically, she's attached to a fairy godmother, and make all kinds of Disney jokes and singing and all that. It was very entertaining. Also, then back in the modern timeline, Nathaniel and his dad trying to reconnect, and he's staying at the Time Bureau to try to figure some stuff out. So this is a very interesting episode. I always love these time little travel episodes, and it's also interesting how they're adding magic into the fairy godmother. I wasn't really expecting that. Bibby Bobbity Boo. The Flash, Season 5, Episode 4. Alright, so this episode of The Flash, we're seeing, basically, we're learning more about what happened after the satellite fell down at the end of last season. Basically what happened is we're learning more about Cicada and some of these new, I guess, metahumans, but really it's more of these meta weapons. So basically there's this villain in this episode who is a reporter who, if she tweets something on her phone, it can force someone to do something. And basically it can corrupt anybody. It corrupts the Flash. The Flash has to run all the way to Las Vegas, and then it forces Excess and the Flash to fight each other. So it was very interesting. Basically, it's kind of interesting what's going on now. I just kind of like this idea of doing meta weapons instead of making a new character. Oh, he's a metahuman, and I only think the main guy's a metahuman because all he has is the dagger, and he just once you take the speed away from Barry, I mean, he's really not that great. I mean, he's not a great character, but we saw in the baseball game, he's a terrible athlete. So that was The Flash. Black Lightning, Season 2, Episode 4. Alright, so this episode of Black Lightning, we're seeing the younger daughter. She is trying to learn to control her powers, and she's really having difficult relationships with her father and mother because they won't tell her anything, and they basically say, hey, you're getting homeschooled. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then she's connecting with the evil bad guy, not the big bad guy, but his lackey. And then we see the stuff going on with the main part of the story. Is the main plot of the episode is Tobias is he's in cuffs and everything. They have no case against Tobias because all the evidence against Tobias has been destroyed. So you can't prosecute somebody who doesn't have any evidence. So basically, this was Tobias' plan: get rid of the evidence, make himself in the open, and then Tobias is alive, well again in the world. Overall, decent episode. And then there's also that stuff going on with Gabby and Gavin and I'll be interested in what's going on the rest of this season. Survivor, David versus Goliath, episode 6. So this episode of Survivor, pretty simple forward. The Purple Tribe loses again, and they go to tribal council. I think it was the Purple Tribe. Yeah, it was the Purple Tribe. Purple Tribe, they go to tribal council, and basically what happens is they're like, okay, who are we going to vote out? Lyrsa or Angelica or Angelica? So basically, it's just like, do we vote out David? Do we vote out Goliath? And Mike basically says, I can't screw over the Davids. And the rock stars decide to get rid of Lyrsa. I didn't really care for her anyway, so I'm kind of glad to see her go. Next week's Emerge is usually some of the better, more exciting episodes. I'll be curious to see what happens, because it looks like in the preview they're targeting Christian, but I'm kind of thinking Angelica will go home. The Big Bang Theory, Season 12, Episode 7. So this episode of Big Bang Theory, basically what's happened is Bernadette has this little new hiding spot where she's hiding away from the world. Leonard gets some grant money to basically... He has to divide up because the president doesn't really want to deal with it, so he gets some staff to do it, known as Leonard Hofstadter. And he has all these projects, but in the end, Leonard decides to be selfish. That was a very funny moment, and Sheldon's like, I'm proud of you. He's like, I'm so proud of you. You did something so selfish. I love it. And then the stuff with Bernadette, where she's had this little hiding place, and both Bernadette, Amy, and Penny are all in this little small house. They're all... And then Ross here's like, what's that? And he's like, oh, Bernadette hides in the house to act like I'm not there, but I already know about it. He's like, well, why didn't you confront her about it? Because so why did you get a license? Well, remember, I knew you were hiding in the house. Oh, you're just like, oh, that's funny. So, yeah, it was an interesting episode. Young Sheldon, Season 2, Episode 7. Alright, so this episode of Young Sheldon, basically this episode is that Sheldon's dad takes Sheldon to a museum lecture where it's all about, fossils and stuff, and we get to see everyone's favorite Paige. I am pretty sure that is the girl from Gifted. Now I'm going to probably Google it once I get off here and start doing some video editing. But I really like her, and I like Sheldon. I like their chemistry together. And George is all proud that he's like, listen, Sheldon went out, hung out with a girl all day and got in trouble. That's my boy. And then you see George is dealing with his father. George is dealing with Paige's parents as they're fighting and thinking about getting divorced. And all George wants to do is eat his hot wings and watch the football. I mean, that's what I would want to do too. He's like, I mean, it was some funny moments. Now the show I've been streaming this week, and it is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Okay, so basically how I came from the show is I watched the first 2 seasons of Riverdale. I'm watching the show every week on the TV Recap Show. Check it out every week at the Darth Easy TV Recap here on the Darth Easy YouTube channel. And basically why I was Googling the show Riverdale because I was really enjoying it. And I heard they were going to make this sideshow called Sabrina, about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because Sabrina is an Archie comic character. I was like, oh, I'll watch it if it comes on CW. But I heard it Netflix because, Netflix and CW had the partnership where the CW, a week after the finale of the show, they post the entire season of their shows onto Netflix. So they have a good working relationship. And so basically, the whole premise of this show is about Sabrina, as she's half mortal, she's half a witch, and she's dealing with life. She doesn't know if she wants to be a member of the Church of Night, devote her life to Satan, or she doesn't. But she also wants to be with her friends. And that's one thing I really liked about the show. The biggest thing to say about the show is I like a lot of the characters in it. The girl who plays Sabrina. This is the girl who was she was Don Draper's daughter in Mad Men. She's incredible in this show. I thought she was very, very well done. And there's some other things to talk about, like one of the aunts, the bigger aunt. She was the girl in Wonder Woman. I liked her in it. There's just a lot of supporting characters I really liked. I'll talk more about this week of TV. But if you want like a little chillin' Halloween show, I mean, this is my Halloween show pretty much this year instead of Stranger Things, because I think I like this show better than Stranger Things. Hey, don't tell anybody, okay? Overall, guys, this was a very good show, and I look forward to watching next season, because apparently they filmed both Season 1 and Season 2 back-to-back. So maybe we'll get Sabrina earlier next year, but I'm looking forward to whatever comes next with Sabrina. And also, there was a little Riverdale tie-in where you're like, well, we didn't use your mortuary, we used the one in Riverdale. I'll talk more about the season in the whole later on this week. Probably Tuesday, I'm thinking. Guys, that ends another episode of the TV Recap. Guys, for more information, go to this YouTube channel, subscribe, catch up on your weekly TV shows that I watch. And whatever show I talk about you love the most, comment below, let me know. And guys, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation. Oh, too much.